When we discuss about, oh yeah, you've got a fiery side and stuff like that, but when we talk about this stuff, you have someone that basically gives you accountability. Like obviously we all have ourselves where we take actions and we account for things that, whether we've done right or wrong, but taking accountability. What is taking accountability for you? What is accountability? And we'll get into that as well.
Okay. محزنات, I swear. محزنات is the bondage, which is one of the most important relationships that I take care of. And it's عندما حزينة ليديانا تفضلها. And she is me, I am her. Like, we don't see ourselves separate anymore, because she holds me accountable whenever I am not doing what I'm saying to do. But she does it with compassion. Also, she takes care of me, even though we live apart from each other. She knows exactly how I feel and what I need, and she tells me that. That Leah Agiri is a negra, always from a place of love, but I tell her. And that is the thing. That's why I always tell my friends online too. Mahaza, Arki, it's the therapy you will never have to pay for.
Yeah.
And I think our parents' generation, most of them, not all of them, most of them kind of are good, they're okay. And I think because my mom's friends are her sisters.
Yeah.
Like Tefeli Eritrean cousin. They are them, they are her, and she is them. Like it's one. Because without telling me, they taught me that a woman, and it's gotta be the same for men too, that you have to have someone who tell them everything. You can tell them everything too, because that's a therapist. How parents are doing that for free. And that's the relationship Lidiana and I cherish so much.
I mean, it's not really easy to express yourself openly to people, whether they be strangers or even your friends and family. Sometimes you may have a difficulty in saying something that you want to say, but it may make tension if that's right. It might make some sort of problem that you just don't want to have to deal with. But how do you
I get that.
How do you overcome that? How do you overcome you saying freely what you want to say and taking accountability? Because there are people out there that they can't do it. They can't do it. Even when they know they're in the wrong, they can't come and say,
admit it.
Apologize. I mean, how do you take that accountability? How do you do that? How do you deal with it? How do you make it happen?
It's so true because ብዙሓት እዮም ዝብሉኒ ያ ኩሉ ግዜ ማሓዛ ግበሪ ትልኒ or ዓርኪ ግበሪ ትልኒ ግን ከዓ ዘይእመን ግዜ ኢና በፅሕናዮ ዘለና እቲ ሰበብ እቲ ሕጂ ንሪኦ ዘለና ኣይእመንን ዝእመን ማሓዛ ኣይትረክብኒ ኢኻ ዝእዋን bla 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 yeah true ምክንያት እዩ ዝንቢ and I always say that ምክንያት would be okay. You know that is going to help you a lot. So what are you going to do for that? Yeah, because you have to earn a friend. هاي المعزة كتركزي واقع كتكفل لك واقع كتكفل بعد يكون بقوة كتهون لك هاي المعزة كتفلو نسبسي هاي المعزة كتفلو it's كبر and you have to work on yourself to be honorable enough to have your friend by your side, to say to people, she's my friend. You have to work for that. And that's what people don't see because they only want, but they forget that they have to give first. But in order to give, you have to be full yourself. So that's what I say. do your homework first. In order to have someone you can trust fully, you have to be the kind of person to be trusted fully. And I always have to say also, it's coming from a place of love. Okay, it's not that you don't deserve that. You do deserve a friend. You go back, you know, like it is something you are born with, or the right you are born with. That's something, yeah. كان خايف ترسع التسابتي التدوليوسي نبع لسب مخانو أتسابع. So أبكن ندرس تتسبع. You have to understand sometimes too, and not only them but yourself. So I always set them back to, okay, maybe it's not your time to have a friend now. Maybe it's your time to work on yourself, and the friend is going to come too. That was for me.
So I want to talk about
for Lydiana too.
I want to talk about those two things. One, that you tell your people that listen to you, or people that are watching you on Instagram, that they can message you and they can say to you, you know, like the accountability partner. They can actually talk to you and have this corresponding. I mean, you must get like hundreds of people like messaging you and telling you their deepest, darkest like secrets and fears and accomplishments and goals. You must have these kind of like, this is too much. Like they're telling me, you know, this happened and this, and it's even sometimes maybe overwhelming for you to actually hear. I mean, how do you cope with that? How do you deal with that?
That's another lesson I had to learn. It's boundaries. And dope comes like to know your boundaries. So whenever I hear of people, and I have to say, I love my friends because they trust me, and I feel like it's a special bond that I have with them. Because whenever they slide into my DMs, it's never anything bad, really, never. It's only positive things. Okay, it's a situation about the positive. It's always from a place of honesty and transparency, and I cherish that. And I that's also what I tell them to do, which I need to practice too, right? To know my boundaries. So whenever they come to me with their own insecurities or life stories, which can be very baffling, you know, I have to remind myself that this is only something I can help with, as also something like, you know, the helper syndrome people tend to have. I have that. But I know that, okay, if that person is going to tell me all of their things, first of all, I'm going to feel honored if they trust me. But second of all, I need to differentiate my life from their life. And just because I can't save them, it doesn't mean that I have to feel bad for how well I am doing. That's always something I need to remind myself. But yeah, it's not hard for me to hear because I know what is me and what is not me.
Yeah.
So that's also how I think that I'm a good accountability partner because I take myself seriously, hands down, I'm telling you.
Yo. I don't need a coach. I don't need advice.